On August 17, 2025, Anchorage, Alaska, is charged with electric tension. Against a backdrop of snow-dusted mountains and the vast North Pacific, U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin meet at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson. Alaska's history is deeply intertwined with both nations, once a Russian outpost, now a critical U.S. strategic asset. The very ground is steeped in shared history and present-day military posturing. This land of extremes is a fitting metaphor for the delicate balance of deterrence and diplomacy. The world watches, knowing the stakes are immeasurably high as these leaders meet on America's final frontier. To understand the weight of today's meeting in Alaska, we must look back at the long and turbulent history of U.S.-Russia relations. For decades, the two nations were locked in a fierce military rivalry, defined by the Cold War's arms race and the threat of nuclear annihilation. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 brought hope for partnership, but optimism faded as tensions returned. Russian resentment over NATO's expansion and Western interventions fueled mistrust. Recent years have seen new confrontations, from Georgia to Crimea to Ukraine. Today's meeting is the latest chapter in a dangerous saga that continues to shape our world. The United States military projects unmatched power, built on technological superiority and global reach. At its core is the nuclear triad: land-based missiles, stealthy submarines, and strategic bombers, ensuring credible deterrence. America's 11 nuclear-powered aircraft carriers act as mobile air bases, projecting force to any coastline. In the skies, fifth-generation stealth fighters and advanced drones dominate the battlespace. The U.S. also leads in cyber and electronic warfare, backed by a global network of military bases. This multi-domain dominance forms the core of America's military strength. Faced with America's overwhelming might, Russia has pursued an asymmetric strategy, focusing on disruptive technologies. At the apex of this strategy is its nuclear arsenal. Russia possesses the world's largest total number of nuclear warheads. Moscow has modernized its nuclear triad with weapons like the RS-28 Sarmat ICBM. This massive nuclear deterrent ensures its sovereignty. Russia has arguably surpassed the U.S. in hypersonic missiles. These weapons travel at more than 5 times the speed of sound. Russia has deployed the Avangard, Kinzhal, and Zircon missiles. This capability represents a significant strategic advantage. It is a game-changing technology designed to level the playing field. Russia has developed sophisticated air defense systems. The S-400 Triumph system can track and engage a wide variety of targets. Its successor, the S-500 Prometheus, is even more capable. These systems create anti-access/area denial bubbles. Russia continues to project formidable power. Its large tank fleet remains a potent force for land warfare. The Russian Navy excels in submarine technology. Russia is a leader in electronic warfare. This focus on key disruptive technologies is Russia's strategic answer to America's global military machine. The United States and Russia represent two distinct military philosophies: global power projection versus regional dominance and deterrence. The U.S. boasts a larger defense budget, advanced technology, and unmatched global reach, anchored by its fleet of supercarriers. Its stealth aircraft and networked warfare capabilities are a generation ahead. Russia, meanwhile, excels in hypersonic missiles, air defenses, and electronic warfare. Ultimately, who is stronger depends on the conflict's context. Global or regional, each side holds unique advantages.
Vladimir, we're here, on American soil, looking at each other across this table. Our generals, they love their toys. They tell me our F-35s, our carriers, nobody can touch them. They say we can be anywhere, anytime. We have the best. Everybody knows it. We spend more than anyone. It's not even close.
Donald, your generals are paid to tell you that. Budgets are impressive, but they do not always guarantee victory. History has taught us this lesson many times. You have large, beautiful aircraft carriers, very expensive targets. We have the Zircon, the Kinzhal. They travel at speeds your systems cannot track, let alone stop. A weapon is only strong if it can reach its target. Ours can. Can you say the same about your defenses?
We have missile defense, the best in the world, Aegis, THAAD. We shoot bullets with bullets. It's incredible stuff. And we have our cyber. We can turn the lights off anywhere we want. That's real power. No bombs, no mess, just darkness. You talk about speed. We talk about control. We control the network. The entire global system runs on our technology. Whose weapon is stronger? The one that's fast, or the one that can stop the fast weapon from ever launching in the first place?
A fascinating philosophical question, but control can be an illusion. A network can be broken. A system can be fooled. You have your cyber, and we have ours. You have your stealth planes, and we have our S-500S designed to see them. So we are back where we started. You have a very strong sword, we have a very strong shield, and a spear that cannot be blocked. The real question is not whose weapons are stronger. The question is whether we are wise enough not to find out the answer. That is why we are in Alaska today, is it not?
The rivalry between the United States and Russia sends shockwaves across the globe, shaping alliances, fueling conflicts, and defining global security.
For NATO allies, this competition is existential. Nations on the eastern flank, like Poland and the Baltics, feel direct pressure from a resurgent Russia. The US and Russia often back opposing sides in conflicts from Syria to Africa, turning local wars into proxy battlegrounds. Nowhere is this rivalry more direct than in Ukraine, where both sides test their resolve and resources. Arms control treaties have crumbled, sparking fears of a new arms race in nuclear and advanced weapons.
The US-Russia rivalry shapes the world, making it more fragmented, contested, and unpredictable for everyone. No discussion of the US-Russia rivalry is complete without acknowledging the enormous presence of the third major player on the global stage, China. Beijing is now a superpower, reshaping the international order with economic and military ambitions. The world faces a complex strategic triangle: US, Russia, and China.
U.S. defense strategy now identifies China as its primary pacing challenge, forcing Washington to divide its focus. Moscow and Beijing have forged a no-limits partnership, united by opposition to a U.S.-dominated order. This alignment presents a formidable Eurasian bloc challenging American primacy, yet Russia is increasingly the junior partner as China's power grows. The China factor fundamentally alters the strategic calculus for all three powers. The interplay between these giants will define the 21st century.
The dramatic meeting in Alaska, with its focus on hypersonic missiles and stealth fighters, inevitably frames the global power contest in military terms. It is a visceral, easily understood metric of strength. Who has the bigger, faster, more destructive weapons? The arsenals of the United States and Russia are indeed terrifyingly impressive, representing the pinnacle of destructive technology. They are the ultimate insurance policy for national sovereignty and a critical tool of statecraft. In a world where hard power still matters immensely, the ability to project military force remains a fundamental component of a nation's influence on the world stage.
However, to focus solely on military hardware is to miss a larger and perhaps more important picture. True strength in the 21st century is a much broader concept. It includes economic vitality and technological innovation, the ability to create prosperity and drive the next wave of progress. It is also about soft power, the appeal of a nation's culture, values, and ideas. A country that can attract the world's best talent and whose political and economic model is seen as successful and desirable wields a powerful, non-coercive form of influence that military might alone cannot achieve.
Furthermore, the strength and resilience of a nation's alliances are a critical force multiplier. The United States' global network of alliances, including powerful blocs like NATO and deep partnerships in the Indo-Pacific, is a unique strategic asset that no rival can match. These alliances provide not only military reinforcement but also diplomatic legitimacy and economic cooperation. They create a community of nations bound by shared interests and values. In contrast, Russia's allies are fewer and weaker, forcing it to rely more heavily on its own unilateral power, which can be isolating and unsustainable in the long run.
This brings us to the ultimate open question. Is military power, defined by weapons and technology, the final arbiter of global leadership? Or is enduring strength found in a nation's ability to build consensus, to lead through diplomacy, and to forge strong, lasting partnerships?
The weapon showdown in Alaska highlights a world still grappling with the old rules of hard power. Yet the most pressing challenges of our time, from climate change and pandemics to economic stability, cannot be solved by hypersonic missiles or aircraft carriers. Perhaps the ultimate test of strength is not the ability to win a war, but the wisdom and capability to build a lasting peace.